Good morning. Let's get started. Pretty awesome week in small cap. Things getting hot with SPRB kicking things off. That one is still up quite a bit. Wow. 157. Still hanging out. Interesting. So would that one came from $9. So pretty incredible move. That's gonna kick things off, heat things up in small cap. Yesterday was really good. Today things are slowing down a bit. We do have TTRX, higher priced one, and BJDX looking pretty interesting. Don't think there's news on this one. Let me see. Skyrockets after a NASDAQ debut. Interesting. So it's a fresh chart. Kind of low float. Biotechs are hot right now because of SPRB. BJDX. Blue Jay Diagnostics. We have a partnership. Let's see. Oh, it's in Japan. This is a common, this is a known fader stock. We've seen it before. And yeah, it's popping back up again, but you can see back here we've had this day. This was a nice day. This was a nice day. That was a good one. That was a good one. Now we kind of have this support right here. It is over a couple support levels. So it's over $4 right now. Kind of a multi-day breakout. Known fader type stock. These things can get sticky around these breakout levels though. So that is something to think about. Wouldn't expect it to keep going. This is probably my favorite stock on the day so far. Yeah, let's see here. Let me put this one on the watch. Okay. Yeah, it's the most interesting one for sure. ATCH. Okay, here we go. We got another one popping up. ATCH. This one is another recent runner. See, this is how we get these breakouts. This is a classic textbook best case scenario breakout chart on this day right here. So this thing popped over here initially, held up higher low for quite a while, and then bam, we got the breakout. The thing gapped up overnight. Amazing move. Third day surge into fade, back down. Now it's popping back up, so it's like a backside bounce short. See how high I can get. It's at 50 cents right now. It's a pretty decent bounce based on the recent action it's had. Nice move there. That's a really super nice flag. And pre-market flag breakout. Technicals are amazing on that. Let's see what the news was. All right, we got $20 million financing. Nice. Definitely worth a watch on that. A TCH. Okay, BAOS. Unfortunately, this one's already down. Possibly can come back up. Give us an entry. AMBO. Already down. Yeah, a lot of these are already down. Okay. That's pretty much all we have. So basically, maybe 2 or 3 potential trades today on those. Swings are going really well. PayPal ripping. I sold PayPal. So this is a super nice swing trade. We had it at 71. No, wait, we had it at 60, 69. And then sold it into the 76 area. And I'm hoping this pulls back because this would be a really nice rebuy. We have the gap fill right here, right at 77, 78. So the gap is pretty much filled. The prophecy is fulfilled. And that can hopefully come back for a rebuy for me. Let's take a look at the other swings. BMNR is my crypto play. So it's right at 59 bucks a share. We got it at 56 back on this day. So on the 3rd. So we're waiting for this breakout to happen. Really hoping this breakout pushes decently. Crypto is hot right now. Just pull up Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of the leader. It is the leader. So Bitcoin at 123, 124. Just hit some new highs on the 6th, up to 127. And really, this is set up to go higher, in my opinion. Hopefully sooner rather than later. You can see back here, it flagged for quite a while. Did a little fake breakdown move and then popped back up. But that was a bit of a fake out too. So then it came back, consolidated for quite a while again, even longer. And now it's sort of a high tide flag situation. You know, the flags, it's nice if it can have a moving average supporting it, but it could be a quick move. Sort of like this, back over here, whenever this one broke out. Pull back to the moving average right there. And then it was off. And it kind of was grinding up right there, going a little bit higher before topping out. So fingers crossed we get a breakout on Bitcoin. Was predicting that we could see 150 on Bitcoin before too much longer. A lot of forecasting saying this can go up quite a bit, and it's pretty much prime time for that to happen. So hopefully we see that at 124 now. Not too far off from the all-time high at 127. So if that does break out, it's going to help our BM&R significantly. Coin as well. This is a big swing on Coinbase. Let me pull up the blueprint. Here's the blueprint. This is what we're hoping for BM&R. We've got a nice hammer candle yesterday. Held up really well. We had a short report come out. So big short seller put out a short report on Twitter. And that happened on the 7th, which is probably what caused that red day to happen. And then yesterday we had a really nice looking hammer candle. Fingers and toes crossed, true. So you can kind of see from that blueprint that it also had a push and then it pulled back before it did end up moving. So sort of a breakout pullback to this trend line. Very clear wedge. Very, very clear wedge. Clearly broken out of that wedge and pulled back now. It can get choppy around this upper trend line. And probably I'll want to add some more. Maybe if this keeps pushing and proving that it's going to go. You know, last add maybe right up here, right around 75. When we hit this true breakout over 72, I might get another add right there. We'll see what it does. But holding from 56 right now. We'll see what happens. Coinbase, I'm really excited about this one. We got the all-time high breakout level right up here, right around 430. And this blueprint is pretty accurate so far. Hopefully it holds up this pattern, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a breakout happen sometime in October. Again, things can chop around. Stocks don't go in straight lines usually. So wouldn't be surprised if we see a little pullback here, test the support right around 350, and then maybe make its way up towards the breakout level. So I'm building Coinbase still plenty of time to add in. If we do get this breakout, it's going to be a really nice move up towards 600, 500, 600 area. Pfizer's another interesting one. They just had some news with Trump in the White House. Here's hopefully the forecast for this one. We've got maybe a upside down inverted head and shoulders right here at the bottom. And a nice trend break. So probably we're going to see maybe some consolidation. Maybe it's going to make its way up back into the 30s before too much longer. Pretty clear trend break there, and we got the Trump news. Trump's pumping up everything. Nike, really disappointing move here so far after the earnings. It kind of just gave back everything on earnings. At least it did hold on earnings, but it filled the gap and almost filled this gap too. So the question is, are we going to fill this gap back to 63 or not? I was really hoping we wouldn't, but now it's looking possible. This is still technically very prime, very set up for a nice big move. Obviously, we got 70% pullback off the top. So can't really ask for much more of a discount than that. You know, unless the company is truly, truly in trouble, obviously, with the tariffs, they're getting hit. But how low does it need to go? At what point is the tariff priced in? That is the question. It's got back down towards these 2017 levels. So it's basically like buying in 2017. But we expect some turbulence, and Nike is known to make some pretty wacky moves, like right here. This thing was grinding down, 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 and then all of a sudden it's right back up, and then it's off to the races right there. So same thing right here. Down, down, down. Looks like it looks really bad, doesn't it? But then this is on earnings. Came back up like nothing ever happened. Similar situation with Lulu. But Lulu is kind of, hopefully, making the turn here. See, this blueprint is forecasting the bottom as we speak. The bottom should be in, hopefully, fingers crossed. But there's a nice looking trend line right here. And once this trend line breaks, we don't want it to come back below that trend line. And we kind of want to see this move start to take off into October, November, December, potentially giving us about a 50 or 60% move back up. Maybe then we'll see some turbulence and then consolidation before it goes higher again. So those are some of my favorite swings right now. It seems like the war sector is taking off. This is VSAT. Now this is a really nice looking high tight flag. Undercut that moving average right here. Double bottom. Wick out the lows before bringing it back up and pushing to new highs. This is sort of textbook high tight flag action. So this is most likely going to keep going I would guess. I feel like I'm a little late to the party, but I might take a position on this and see if we get some nice extension. It's coming off the lows like everything else. But the buy should have been, for me, right around 31, 32. So 35 right now. So a little late to the party, 12% off. But there is room to go on up towards the high 40s. Maybe 50s. All right. 30 seconds to the bell. Good luck. I've got nothing into the open here. Yeah, BGDX is the best short. Nike's trying to hold a base here. That's good. Nice trend break on it. Does look like it's trying to hold. Hopefully it can give us a decent little green day. Lulu actually looking pretty good too. Some small cap earnings. Stock rel. Trying to spike out of the gate here. Hopefully it gets a pop. Got a small long on. Kind of a weird one. Wow. So wait, they significantly beat 0.015 estimate EPS and they got 13. So significant earnings beat. Yeah, there's a chance it pops here. Not typically what I would want to trade. Let's see, not too much for me this morning. Adding some more Lulu. Just averaging into my swing. Holy cow, wait a minute. Okay. Pfizer, what are we doing on Pfizer? Yeah, so we got the Trump news on this one. On the 30th, so it's kind of pulling back off of that excitement. Wow, Etsy is just working so easily. This is how things should work. See, we've got Etsy. This is the perfect pattern, really. But we got these moving averages. It was just holding under moving averages for so long, and then finally, reclaim, breakout pullback, boom. Hit it on the pullback to the 50. A little choppy, but several chances to get in. And it's just made a new high recently. Continues to try to make highs, so we'll see if it keeps chopping back down and going back up, or if it's going to eventually have a pretty big move all at once. GLTO, recent runner, popping back up on the third day. Might get a trade on BAOS if it pops. Kind of slow. What else? What else can we do? Oh, we got maybe a fake out strat on Tesla. So we faked out pre-market low. It's coming back up. Maybe it's going to push back towards pre-market high. SPY looking weak. I don't believe it. Let's take a look at it. SPY looking weak. Hard to say. It's right at all-time highs. Maybe pulling back a little bit here. Just never know how much it's going to pull back. Ultimately, as long as it holds, I don't know, or above 662, basically, it's pretty strong in my opinion. We got a big trend break right here coming eventually. Maybe a smaller one right here. If this one breaks, it could pull back quite a bit. 670 support area. No fake out for me. Might be a short actually. So I want to see the fake out of the pre-market low, which we have. And then I want a 5-minute close over the 9, which we have not gotten yet. Morning, Scotty. Patience comes to those who wait. That's what they say. Best short right now is BJDX. In my opinion, it is kind of testing this key level right here at $4. ATCH, also interesting, cheaper stock, but I'll make an exception for 50-cent stocks and higher. No position yet. Not sure what Nike's going to do. It seems like potentially wants to try to fill the gap. Not loving that. Technically still a trend break. Really want to see 68 hold up. But man, there is a gap here down to 62. Kind of reminds me of Etsy. See, Etsy did a very similar kind of nasty pullback right before it popped back to new highs. And then when this was happening, it just seems like this dip is never going to end. But eventually does. First green day right here was kind of a sign. Got red, 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 green. Okay, now it's chilling out. Nice hammer candle right there. And then pretty clear trend break into the uptrend. Trimming some celery. Nice job. So we did get a green day on Nike. But we're kind of, I don't know, it's looking kind of nasty right now. Hopefully this turns into a hammer candle. If it turns into a hammer, I think we're in really good shape. Tilray 225. Look at that. Amazing. I kind of forgot about earnings. But they beat. Expected negative 3 cents. Expected. Actual was $0 per share. EPS. Not much I can do this morning. Oracle probably going to be a good long, I would guess. We've got a nice looking trend break on it. First swing. They did a really nice fake out yesterday or a couple days ago. Undercut that low perfectly. Reclaims back up. Really nice. I have a swing on for this. Gonna risk 275. I'll add more over the trend break. And it's interesting because it seems like the thing is up way too much, but we'll see if this low holds, then this can keep going. The market is kind of wacky right now. So wouldn't really be surprised. We're gonna see this maybe this 20 moving average reclaim, and then it pretty much shouldn't come back under that for a while if this works out like I'm thinking. Quantum going nuts. That's pretty funny. Going right back to the highs after a red day yesterday. So probably trapped a bunch of shorts in that because this is super extended. But it's reclaiming yesterday's levels almost entirely. Super impressive move. The collapse will be incredible when this happens. This is just totally absurd. So the question is, are we halfway through the move yet? And when these things squeeze for real, then, we see the biggest move towards the end of the move, towards the end of the run, as things get super blown out. Get the blow off top. That's where the biggest moves happen. So, and they happen fast. All right, glad I didn't short ATCH now because it's coming back up. Maybe it's still okay, but it's still fighting. Oh, Tesla might be setting up now. I'll give it a try. Fake out strat still in play. Potentially. All right, we'll see if we get the follow through. ATCH going higher. Good thing I didn't short it. It wasn't really set up for me, but I wanted to do it. Looks like it wants to do it. We just want to see a push towards pre-market high. buy. Not sure if we're going to do it. Having a little pullback here. Going to take some time. ATCH. Yeah, going higher. That's interesting. Still watching it. Unity. Possibly breaking trend. Maybe not so much. Oracle looking good. See if that can hold 275. Okay, so American Eagle, it's kind of the same pattern. Tesla's kind of failing on me. Yeah, American Eagle, they had really good earnings and then pullback. So then the question is now, when this breaks trend, Is this going to be a good buy for a swing? Probably. It is trying to fill this gap. This has been one of my favorite setups, though. We get a nice trend break for the swing. So we're keeping a close eye on that. See you, Scotty. Have a good one. Nice job on Tilray. Some of our best trades have looked like this for swing trades. But we need that trend to break, so we'll see. All right, unfortunately, can't get too much going today. We have ATCH going higher. That's why I didn't want to short it. Wasn't really up too much. But now it's getting into a nice short range. But running into midday, sort of. Not exactly my playbook. Kind of hoping this gap's overnight now. Sets up for tomorrow. That would be really nice. Maybe if we could gap up to, I don't know, 80 cents, $1. All right, we're going to call it there. Pretty slow morning for me. Managing some swing trades. That's pretty much it. Still watching some things, but probably not going to get it. So we'll call it there. Good luck, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.